Hi, I'm Mrs. Marshall, and I will be reading this story to you called Who is Melvin Bubble by Nick Bruhl. You may have already heard of Nick Bruhl. He is the author of the Bad Kitty books, so you know this book is going to be funny. My lesson today is all about adjectives, and inside this book there are going to be a million different adjectives. Do you remember what an adjective is? It is a word that describes a noun. So let's get started. Now, before I even get to the title page, there is a letter. Dear Mr. Bruhl, please make a book about my best friend Melvin Bubble. He's a real nice kid, and I think you would really like him, even though you don't know him. Not everyone knows who Melvin is, but everyone should. Thanks, Jimmy. And even before we get to the title page, there are these words. This is Melvin Bubble's hat. This is Melvin Bubble's toothbrush. These are Melvin Bubble's pajamas. This is Melvin Bubble's favorite truck. This is Melvin Bubble's piggy bank. This is Melvin Bubble's hockey stick. This is Melvin Bubble's lunch. This is Melvin Bubble's foot. But who is Melvin Bubble? I am, by Nick Bruhl, illustrated by Nick Bruhl. This, hello, is Melvin Bubble. But who is Melvin Bubble? I don't know. Let's ask. His dad. Melvin? He's a real chip off the old block. Smart, handsome, popular, a great athlete. Now that I think about it, he's just like me when I was his age. Did you hear some adjectives that describe Melvin in that page? Did you say smart, handsome, and popular? Good. Thank you, sir. Now let's ask his mom. Do you see this? This is Melvin's sneaker. I found it under his bed in a box of crackers. I found his other sneaker on top of his lamp. I found his toothbrush in his sock drawer and his socks on the dog. Once I found the homework stuck to the wall with a piece of pizza. I love Melvin, but he may be the messiest boy in the world. What adjective describes boy, but he may be the messiest boy in the world? Did you say messiest? Good. Thank you, ma'am. Now let's ask his best friend, Jimmy. Melvin's the coolest kid I know. He can whistle the itsy bitsy spider through his nose. How's the book going so far? How did his best friend describe him? Melvin, the coolest kid I know. Did you say coolest? Good job. So far, so good. Now let's ask his dog. Woof, woof, arf, woof, woof, bark, woof, arf, bark, woof, 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 arf, bark, woof, woof, arf, woof, woof, arf, bark, arf, arf, woof. Good boy. Now, let's ask his teddy bear. Gee, I've known Melvin for years now. Sometimes when he's feeling scared, I'll give him a great big hug. Or if he's sad, I like to give him a great big hug. And if he's feeling happy, I'll give him a great big hug. Once he was really angry about something, so I gave him a great big hug. That Melvin, he really likes hugs. Make sure that's in the book. What kind of hug did the teddy bear give to Melvin? Let me repeat the sentence. So if he's sad, I like to give him a great big hug. Did you say great and big? Good job. Okay, I will. Now let's ask a big ugly monster with 3 eyes. Ah, Melvin, dear, sweet, delicious Melvin. Such a tender young lad. It gets so lonely living here inside his closet. Please tell Melvin that I must have him over for dinner sometime. Maybe we should move on. What kind of adjectives describe the monster? A big, ugly monster with 3 eyes. Did you say big, ugly, with 3 eyes? Good. Now, let's ask Santa Claus. Good old Melvin. He's always on my nice list. When he was really little, he wanted a teddy bear. Later on, he liked trucks. After that, he was really into dinosaurs. Last year, I gave him a bicycle. He is getting so big. What a lovely idea to make a book about Melvin. Thanks, Santa. Now let's ask the Tooth Fairy. I don't know if you noticed, but that Melvin, he has a big head, and it's heavy too. Once, while I was doing my job, he rolled over and I was stuck under his pillow for 3 hours. I missed 8 appointments and lost my hat. By the way, he snores. What kind of head does Melvin have? Did you say big and heavy? Now that's good to know. Now let's ask a beautiful princess. Prince Melvin of Bubbletopia? He's the richest and fairest of all the princesses. Oh, how my heart yearns for him. Someday a dragon or a troll or a big ugly monster with 3 eyes may kidnap me from my father and imprison me in his dark and hideous cave. Only Prince Melvin will be brave enough to journey on his mighty white stallion across raging rivers through the enchanted forest and over the mountains of screaming doom to rescue me and take me away to his silver castle in the clouds where he will marry me, and together we will have 500 children and live happily ever after. Too many adjectives on that page. We'll just skip this one. You may be thinking of someone else. Now let's ask the meanest man in the world. Melvin Bubble? What kind of silly name is that? I hate silly names. The only things I hate more than silly names are puppies and rainbows. And the only thing I hate more than puppies and rainbows are books about people with silly names. Melvin Bubble? I hate that name. And if he was here right now, I'd kick dirt on his shoes. That'll teach him to have a silly name. What kind of name does Melvin have? Did you say silly? Okay, I'm sorry I asked. Yikes! Now let's ask this magic rock. Okay, so maybe it's not magic after all. Now let's ask a talking zebra. Who? What? Melvin Bubble? Never heard of him. Is he a lion? I don't like lions. Have you seen any lions around? I really don't like lions. You'll let me know if you see any lions around, won't you? Boy, I really don't like lions. Lions are bad news. What kind of news are lions? Did you say bad? Good. This is getting us nowhere, and we still don't know who Melvin Bubble is. Hey, I know. Let's ask Melvin Bubble. Who, me? Well, my name is Melvin Bubble. I'm 6.5 years old. I'm 4 feet and 2.5 inches tall. I have a dog named Buster and a teddy bear named Cuddles. I love my mom and I love my dad. My favorite stories are fairy tales, and my favorite animals are zebras. My favorite holiday is Christmas because every year Santa brings me the best presents. I don't like monsters, and I really don't like mean people. Last year, the Tooth Fairy gave me $4 in this cool ring I found under my pillow. What kind of presents does Santa bring Melvin? I'll reread the sentence. Because every year Santa brings me the best presents. Did you say best? And my best friend in the whole world is Jimmy Wallpaper. I once gave him a magic rock I found that grants wishes. I wish that someone would write a book about you. Thanks, Melvin. Thanks, Jimmy. See you around, guys. And on the back cover, Dear Mr. Brule, thanks for the book. Jimmy likes it too. Maybe I'll write a book about you someday. Thanks again, Melvin. The end. I certainly hope you enjoyed this story as much as I did. Have a good day. Bye-bye.